This is Italian Football Lover channel, my friends. Today I want to make predictions. Match day 6 games of EPL. You can subscribe to my channel, watch my videos, and please click on the like button. Thank you so much. Let's start from the Brentford-Manchester United game. Brentford is going to be at home. They are playing way more better at home. They stayed draw against 2-2 Chelsea in last match at home. They won versus 1-0 Aston Villa at home. But my dear friends, they lost against 3-1 Fulham in last away game. And this Manchester United team is playing better at home. They won versus 3-2 Burnley at home. They won against 2-1 Chelsea in last match at home. But United lost against 3-0 City in last away game. Before they stayed draw against 1-1 Fulham in away game. My dear friends, this is going to be so challenging game. Maybe Manchester United may win this game, but Brentford is so dangerous at home. Because of that, draw is going to be my prediction draw. Brentford 1, Manchester United 1. And another game, Leeds United Bournemouth. Leeds United is playing better at home. They won versus 1-0 Everton at home. They stayed draw against 0-0 Newcastle at home. They not concede even a goal at home in the first two games. They won against 3-1 Wolverhampton in last away game. Bournemouth got a very good start to season. They won against 2-1 Brighton at home. They won versus 1-0 Tottenham in away game. But they lost against 4-2 Liverpool in first away game of EPL. Bournemouth is so dangerous team. They won against 1-0 Wolverhampton at home. Really, this is going to be so challenging game. In the last game, Leeds United won versus Bournemouth 4-3 at home. This game may end up in draw. Draw is possibility in that match. But I feel in that way, I want to take a chance to Bournemouth for victory, my dear friends. I want to take a chance to Bournemouth. Leeds United 0, Bournemouth 1 is my prediction for this game. Another game, Chelsea-Brighton. Last season, Chelsea won versus Brighton 4-2 at home. And Chelsea is playing better at home. They won versus 2-0 Fulham in last match at home. But they stayed draw against 0-0 Crystal Palace in first match at home. Chelsea lost against 2-1 United in last away game. And Brighton got poor results in away games, my dear friends. They lost against 2-1 Bournemouth in last away game. And they lost against 2-0 Everton in away game. And Brighton stayed draw against 2-2 Tottenham in last match at home. They could get just one victory so far this season in EPL, Brighton team. Chelsea will make the advantage of playing at home. After a hard clash, they will win over against Brighton. Chelsea 2, Brighton 1 is my prediction for this game. Manchester City Burnley Manchester City won against Burnley 3-1 in the last match at home. And Burnley couldn't get any victory against Manchester City in the last 5 games played between all of these two teams, as I remember. Manchester City team won versus 3-0 Manchester United at home, but they lost against 2-0 Tottenham at home, my dear friends. And City lost against 2-1 Brighton in away game. And Burnley team is playing better at home. They lost against 1-0 Liverpool at home, but they conceded the goal in the last minutes of the game. Burnley stayed draw against 1-1 Nottingham Forest at home, but Burnley lost against 3-2 United in away game. They lost against 3-0 Tottenham in away game. They got 2 consecutive defeats in away game. Manchester United will make the advantage of playing at home. They are way more better team than Burnley. They will win over against Burnley. Manchester City 3, Burnley 1 is my prediction for this game. Another match, Crystal Palace Liverpool. Crystal Palace got back-to-back draws at home. They stayed draw against Nottingham Forest 1-1 at home. They remained draw against 0-0 Sunderland in last match at home. Palace won versus 2-1 West Ham in last away game. Liverpool won against 1-0 Burnley in away game. They won against 1-0 Arsenal at home. Liverpool team, really, they won against 3-2 Newcastle United in away game before. Liverpool got back-to-back victories. They got an amazing start to season. Last season, Liverpool won versus Palace 1-0 in away game. Palace will force Liverpool significantly. Maybe draw is possible, but just by 1 goal margin. I want to take a chance to Liverpool for victory. Crystal Palace 0, Liverpool 1 is my prediction for this game. Nottingham Forest, Sunderland. Nottingham Forest is going to be at home. They got a poor results as of lately. And Nottingham Forest team lost against 3-0 West Ham at home. But they won versus 3-1 Brentford in first match at home, my dear friends. Forest stayed draw against Burnley 1-1 in last away game. Sunderland team got a good start to season nevertheless. But they stayed draw against Crystal Palace. 0-0 in away game. And at the same time, before this, Sunderland team lost against Burnley 2-0 in away game. Sunderland is playing better at home, my dear friends. They won against 2-1 Brentford at home. They won versus 3-0 West Ham at home. This is going to be so hard clash, my dear friends. But after a long time, this time I want to take a chance to Nottingham Forest for victory. Nottingham Forest 2, Sunderland 1 is my prediction for this game. Tottenham Wolverhampton off. Tottenham is going to be at home. And Tottenham team stayed draw against Brighton 2-2 in away game. They lost against 1-0 Bournemouth at home, my dear friends. But Tottenham in the first game, Tottenham won versus 3-0 Burnley at home. But they lost against 1-0 Bournemouth at home. They won versus 3-0 West Ham in away game, this Tottenham team. Last season, Tottenham Wolverhampton game ended up in 2-2 draw. In the last 5 games, Tottenham couldn't get any victory against Bournemouth. This is weird statistic, my dear friends. And Wolverhampton have no point. They are at the bottom of the point table. They got a very poor start to season. They are in so bad situation. They lost against 3-1 Leeds United in last match at home. They lost against 3-2 Everton at home. They lost against 1-0 Bournemouth and Newcastle in away games. One more time, under these circumstances, I want to take a chance to Tottenham for victory. Tottenham 1, Wolverhampton 0 is my prediction for this game. Aston Villa Fulham off. Aston Villa is going to be at home. They won against Fulham 1-0 at home last season. But Villa got a very poor start to season. They lost against 3-0 Palace at home. They stayed draw against 0-0 Newcastle at home. Villa stayed draw against Everton 0-0 in away game. And Fulham won versus 3-1 Brentford at home. They won against 1-0 Leeds United at home. Fulham is playing better at home, my dear friends. They lost against 2-0 Chelsea in away game. They remained draw against 1-1 Brighton in away game. This is going to be so hard clash. Fulham will force Villa significantly. Maybe draw is possible. But really that's enough. Really that's enough. I want to take a chance to Aston Villa for victory after a long time, my dear friends. Aston Villa 1, Fulham 0 is my prediction for this game. At Newcastle United Arsenal off. Last season Newcastle won versus Arsenal 1-0 at home. And Newcastle team won against 1-0 Wolverhampton at home. But before they lost against 3-2 Liverpool at home. Newcastle team stayed draw against Leeds United 0-0 in away game. Really Newcastle is so inconsistent team, my dear friends. And Arsenal team is quality team. They won against 3-0 Forest at home. They won against 5-0 Leeds United at home. But Arsenal lost against 1-0 Liverpool in last away game. Before Arsenal won against 1-0 Manchester United in away game. This is going to be so challenging game. Draw is possibility in that game. But I feel in that way Arsenal won't lose this game. Just by 1 goal margin, I want to take a chance to Arsenal for victory. Newcastle United 1, Arsenal 2 is my prediction for this game. Everton West Ham, this is the last match of the week. Everton is going to be at home and they are playing better at home. They won versus 2-0 Brighton at home. They stayed draw against 0-0 Villa in last match at home. And my dear friends, this Everton team lost against 2-1 Liverpool in away game, my dear friends. At last season Everton West Ham game ended up in 1-1 draw. West Ham got a very poor start to season. This West Ham team lost against 2-1 Crystal Palace in last match at home. But West Ham won versus 3-0 Forest in away game. Before West Ham lost against Sunderland 3-0 in first away game of EPL. West Ham have just 3 points. They will force Everton significantly. But Everton is seeming a little bit closer to victory compared to West Ham United. Because of playing at home. But my prediction is going to be draw. Draw is my prediction for that game. Everton 1, West Ham United 1. All my predictions like this. Match day 6 games of EPL. You can subscribe to my channel, watch my videos. And please click on the like button. It makes me so glad. See you on my next videos, my dear friends. Bye.